Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. First week of the year is done. So how was your week? How was your first trading week of the year? How was your first trading week? Mine was basically break-even. I didn't open as many trades as I would like. I missed quite a few trades. Some they were kind of my fault. I'm guessing a little bit, especially on the Aussie. And then, yeah, yesterday during the NFP, I did miss that dollar yen short on the second position. It got faked out when the news. My stop loss got hit by the spread just during the news. So yeah, the market is back. Let's just say it like that. So the market is back after a few weeks with a kind of ranging market. Market is back, and not just the market, NFP as well, I think, is back. As I mentioned last week, I think this year in 2023, it would be the year of kind of maybe the market moving a little bit away from the CPI news. Let's see. And next Thursday is going to be another CPI data coming out. So let's see how the market's going to react to that. But I think, in my opinion, I wasn't even expecting this time, the straight away in January, but maybe starting Q2, I think the market's going to pay a little bit or react a little bit less, comparing it how it has been reacting during this in 2022 to the CPI data. I'm going to start maybe reacting like that during the NFPs, just like it happened yesterday, right? A big reversal in the market, big moves as soon as it came out, just moving in a straight line, a little bit of retracements, but still continue in that momentum. The dollar, as you can see, went all the way back to the downside. The other major FX pairs moving upwards, the indices moving to the upside as well. So yeah, the volatility is back in the market. So there you go. This is what we want, right? As traders, this is what offers opportunities. So we are back. Welcome everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Today's Saturday. On Saturdays, I always do a weekly analysis in anticipation for next week, trading week. So that's what we're going to be doing, going from the major FX pairs to some indices, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, maybe a little bit of NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow Jones. If you have any asset that you'd like me to cover, feel free to ask, and we can talk about it. Any key level as well, any zone that you think that can be a good level to look for a trade, feel free to ask, or feel free to mention in the chat, and going to be looking at that. That's kind of the dynamic of the live stream. So yeah, I always start with dollar index. I like to look at the correlation that there is between dollar index and the major FX pairs, especially with euro dollar. But when everything is kind of in alignment, like it was yesterday during the NFP, you could see, right? You could see that everything moved in alignment with the dollar. We had dollar weakness, and we saw the USD CAD going down, dollar yen going down, euro dollar going up, pound dollar going up, Aussie dollar going up, and so on and so forth. Like we had all that correlation, and it was a little bit visible during this week altogether. Sometimes the correlation may be a little bit different, depending maybe on individual news that occur in specific countries. For example, if now there's going to be some news during this week in Australia, that's going to affect the Aussie, which may not affect, of course, euro dollar, for example. This is when the disparities occur. So what we have in here, right? So this is what we are looking for on the dollar. I was totally bearish yesterday around the NFP. I had this key level in here to pay attention to. I did make that prediction with the guys the last 2 days before the NFP, that I was looking at the dollar going upwards, and we had all this compression, right? So basically all this was compressed all the way in here. Even you can even consider this one in there. There was initially a little bit of a reaction somewhere in there during just before the news on the dollar, but then eventually this is exactly where I was looking for. And when you have price approaching a really important level that is still fresh in the higher time frames, for example, on the 4 hour, this level is fresh. This can be almost considered as a Quasimodo level. This is actually a really nice pattern that you have in here, because I don't know many of you know Quasimodo, but yes, it's something that is nice to see during the Quasimodo pattern. It will be kind of the left shoulder. This is the fake out, the higher high, and then eventually price goes there. Of course, we have a new lower low created in here from these lows. It's always nice to see the head or the fake out of the Quasimodo to react from a good level as well of supply, and in this case it was reacting, right? So this level in here, it was fresh because this high never reacted from there in here, so we had the fake out in there. So now everything is kind of in alignment, right? So we have a left shoulder, we have the higher high of the fake out that is also reacting from here, because sometimes the fake out or this level may go and actually breaks this level altogether. So it's not, at this point, is not really reacting from a good level. It actually may be considered as an engulf to the upside if it actually breaks above this level. So at this point, maybe this Quasimodo is no longer actually valid. It may actually work on the opposite side, kind of the opposite, kind of IKM, inverse Quasimodo, kind of what you could look at. But in this case, yes, this high was reacting from exactly where it should. So there was no engulf to the upside in that moment, and there was literally fresh orders, a fresh level in here, because none of these highs reacted from there. And I mentioned even that last month when we kind of were creating this level, was already with this mark in here, with this level mark for quite a while. We can go back to my charts the previous weeks, and you'll see that I already had this one in here, and this is what I was looking for. So yesterday, as price was approaching, and it was approaching in a really compressed way, it's another clue that can give us exactly that, the bias to where you should be looking for. And then if you start looking for the individual assets or the individual currency pairs, you can also see that on the opposite side, they are actually approaching a really good level. For example, dollar CAD was approaching a really good level. Dollar yen, actually the one that I traded, it was not exactly approaching a good level, but it had just fake out an important high. So after taking that high, it was kind of a good level to look for, to start paying attention. I was following dollar yen yesterday for almost 2 hours before the reversal. I actually had a break-even trade on the way. Price was going up. I was kind of 1.5 hour, but eventually it went at the break-even, until finally I managed to catch the short just before the NFP. It was reacting from a 5 minutes level, so I will take a look at dollar yen in a bit. But yes, so paying attention to fresh levels on the left side, especially if they are 4 hour daily time frame levels, it's even better for the news. Paying attention to the type of approach that is having. So we actually managed to break lows. Again, another thing that I'm always mentioning, look for lows to be broken on the way up, right? So look for lows to start managing to break previous lows on the way up. That kind of shows a little bit of weakness on the up, which is exactly what you want to see, right? Kind of the sellers starting to gain a little bit territory comparing with the buyers, and you still had a little bit of this level, and this is kind of maybe the last point in here, or even this one as well. Like I was actually looking at the 10-second chart in that moment of the dollar index as well, to pay attention to it. Come here. So yeah, this was exactly the move that you could see on the dollar index yesterday. I was also paying attention to that in order to look for those clues. And yeah, I had actually this level. We had this one in here, but we had this one in here. It was respected for a while. It was in here, until finally we kind of have actually price just touching this level, and you have the break. And then this would actually maybe be a great level to look for a short. So this move, it kind of occurred across almost all pairs. This fake out to the upside, this was the one that kind of stopped me out on the second position on the end with the spread. Price never really even touched my stop loss, but with the spike. So price was moving down towards a fast spike to the upside to exactly collect these orders that were in here, and then the drop occurred. You'll see, if you notice, basically almost all the pairs, you're going to see this spike occurring. I think on the euro dollar is the only one that actually managed to go a little bit above, in this case below the low. All the rest, it actually stayed in here and respected that level. And yes, after that, completely moved to the downside. and there it went, right? When I did made my prediction 2 days ago, of expecting price to react from there, this was a level that I would be looking for. When I made my prediction, this level hasn't really occurred yet, because I was looking for price maybe to go up, leaving this level fresh and price going up. Maybe from here price could have done this. Price still reacted from there, but yes, the decision to actually go down too strong, and there we go. Something else, I think I mentioned that as well last week, regarding the dollar index, which was, if you have been following my streams, you know that for the last 2-3 weeks, when you start having out this range and price respected this low, I mentioned that yes, I would like to see this low being taken. I don't really like the double low that was created, so before any massive reversal, I would like the low to be taken, right? And on euro dollar, on the opposite hand, I actually liked where the high was kind of reacting to, so I didn't need to see a new high being created on euro dollars. I said that a few weeks ago when we were within this range, and we did took this low in here, just in the last move of the year, last week, on the 31st, no, on the 30th of December, kind of we broke the low, and then price finally moved to the upside. But something that I also mentioned is if we just take this low slightly, which as it occurred, I think I would consider this one kind of as an engulf to the downside. I think price would go, like, I would kind of rather prefer to see price going maybe a little bit more into here before actually massive turn. If it's just a slightly break below, like it occurred, like maybe a couple of pips or points or whatever you want to call it, I think I would see it as an engulf down, and not exactly the moment for the massive reversal, kind of all the way until there. I think there's a little bit more for the dollar index to navigate to, and at this point you kind of respected that level. Yes, eventually I would like to see price going all the way and refilling this range. As I mentioned, I also mentioned, yes, within this range there was maybe 2-3 levels to pay attention to. This was one of them. Another one need to be maybe under test of something in here, and then of course the extreme could be also be paying attention, something to pay attention to. And this is what we had, right? So weakness on the dollar. We are going to test these lows next week. I could imagine that you are going to create maybe new lows, right? There's maybe something in here that could kind of hold price, but I think we are going to have new lows, and I think price may most likely is going to maybe get closer to that level, 102 something, or even approaching a little bit maybe these highs in here from COVID. So let's see exactly what's going to happen in here. I could even eventually see price targeting all the way even these lows altogether, and maybe the massive reversal on the dollar, it may occur eventually when you get below this low, maybe reacting from something in there. This could be the range to look for, and maybe after that we can maybe go up and finally fill all this in here. So maybe there's a little bit more that even if price now retraces to this level, there's maybe a chance still for price to maybe react from there and continue to the downside. Something to pay attention to as well next week if price does want to do that. We can see how this level has been respected already a few times. So yeah, this is something to look for. Yes, this demand zone is still fresh. Price kind of just reacted from the zone above it, not really into this level. So maybe next week, next Monday, it depends how price is going to open. Maybe there's a little bit of a reaction in here. Price can maybe go up, maybe looking at this level in here that was broken to the downside, and maybe price can react and go down. Hi Muzani, happy new year, man. First time we speak. How are you? How is everything? Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for on the dollar. I think we may have a continuation. Yeah, this level, pay a little bit attention. From the way market reacted, I could see maybe a little bit more weakness. As you can see, this was just a slight break of the low from this level. Also the low there on the left side, and this is something that when I saw it as well last week, when I mentioned this actually 1 week ago, this could actually mean a little bit more of a room to the downside. But yes, if you want, as a good exercise to do it for this weekend, if you want, and if you want to practice how to identify reversals in the market, this is exactly just analyzing how price moved on euro dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, dollar CAD, and so on. Yeah, do that exercise, analyze it, how price reversed, what kind of approach was price going to, where did price reacted to, and then when price reacted there, was there any way for you to participate in the move, right? What kind of confirmation would you have seen in the move? In this case, it would have been literally this kind of entry in there. Maybe you could have tried to just this one, destroying the scale. Some kind of trend line in here. Maybe you could have waited for the break of this, or even for the final break of this level. This is actually similar to my entry on the dollar yen. It moved a little bit different, but yes, I entered with a kind of a self-stop in there. After seeing finally the final battle, try to identify where is the last demand, especially if how this is compressed. If you see it, you can just place an order in there, and then price most likely can drop through it. And if you kind of enter in that level, there's a high chance that price can still retest that level one more time before the drop. So be careful with moving stop loss to break even way too early in that move if you enter exactly in that moment in there. So yeah, this is dollar index. I think we can see new lows next week with special. However, still pay attention to that demand zone in there. Hey Faden, welcome. Now the stream is going to get interesting. Now the stream is going to be interesting. Yeah, so dollar. I believe we may have new lows on next week again. I think the Fed Chair Powell is going to speak on Tuesday around 2 p.m. Some kind of conference, if I'm not mistaken, but then the CPI next Thursday. So we can maybe try to see how price is going to be moving until there. In here, there's maybe, so price already took this low, we kind of reacted from there. I could see a little bit more room to downside, maybe this 103 level, eventually even continuing all the way more to the downside. I think last week I analyzed a little bit these levels in more detail in here. But yes, play kind of paying attention to the approach as well. It's going to be important. I'm not really looking at this point to find a specific level. Nothing is really standing out to me, maybe the base of this or something like that. But I want to see the approach. As if price starting to approach, if price starts to kind of break some highs, starting to show some level of or some clues that it wants to reverse, then I'll definitely look into it more, and then yeah, try to see where the reversal may occur. So yeah, that's for dollar index. Crazy scenario, we go very slightly higher in EU and then we take the lows with CPI. Yeah, kind of euro, it reversed to, it respected the high from last year. Last week we spent and identify actually a zone above the high that price could go and react to. That level is still fresh, so I'm going to still paying attention to that level. And next week, if price does want to go there, so it's something to look at. And we'll see. CPI is going to be interesting. Let's see what kind of prediction is in there. If we're going to continue to see our CPI for that scenario, it kind of, the CPI may need to be a surprise to the upside, or negative surprise in this case. Kind of may need to go be higher than expected. If CPI continues to be a little bit lower, or continues to go in this trajectory of the last 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, 2-3 months of going a little bit down, I'm not sure how much more CPI is going to be playing a role. Yeah, maybe for the first quarter, I think it's going to still be a concern. I think they're going to focus more on real data like NFP. So that is something that I'll be paying attention paying attention to. Again, I think, as I mentioned, bad news were good news. Good news were bad news. This is the theme kind of last year, and for the first time, kind of good news were actually good news, and we see how the indices reacted to it. If this was last year, most likely we would have seen an opposite move, because this was more concern of the Fed keep increasing the interest rates as it has been doing so aggressively. So yeah, Euro index, it continues to evolve around this level, something that we have been talking about as well. So it reacted from there, it created new lows in here, it respected, actually took slightly this high in here, and it went there, and now it's reacting from this level. So yeah, there was maybe already, again, I'm not trading Euro index, I'm using this one a little bit as a baseline to maybe get some information for the Euro pairs. Again, we are seeing how this range in here is mostly because, yes, we are seeing maybe euro dollar, for example, euro dollar in the beginning of the week was going down, and now it's kind of going up. But the other Euro pairs, they are not doing kind of the same as the euro, and this is kind of it's a good idea, or it gives you the information to see that, yeah, this is not a week controlled by the euro. Kind of the euro is not the main thing in the market this week. Like the euro yen, for example, was doing what the yen was doing. Euro pound was kind of moving on its own as well. Euro Aus is well doing something else. So when you have that, that's when you have these ranges in here on the euro index. Personally, I may still see a little bit of a move to downside. We actually managed to take this low, so this can be seen kind of as an engulf to downside. So maybe price can respect this level, continue to go down, and maybe a little bit closer to this level. There's maybe even a chance to even fake out one more time, maybe these highs before going down. But yes, somewhere in here, price could definitely maybe respect it and maybe continue to move down. Yeah, on euro, as you mentioned, maybe from now, maybe there's a chance for price to go all the way back and break the highs and then maybe reverse. So we'll see. But this one is also controlled, or it's also reacts based on what the other euro pairs are doing. So yeah, sometimes it's nice to analyze them. For example, when this high was created, which was during the ECB press conference, that was a moment to pay attention to this euro index, because it was the euro that was kind of moving the market. And on the other side, we have here the yen index, right? There you go. The yen index is exactly one that has been doing or moving quite nicely, even the last few weeks. Price reacted from here. I was looking actually for price to go a little bit lower. Nevertheless, it kind of was a good level, and that is actually where I tried to criticize with a short. So we mentioned already that we were looking at this double top, and I mentioned I would like them to see kind of being broken. Price kind of reacted from something in here. I may see almost all this as compressed, so I don't mind to see price maybe going a little bit higher. However, I also mentioned that yes, when you fake out a double top, there's maybe a high chance that price can reverse after that. And as I mentioned so many times as well, when you do that, so when you break this kind of structure, where are we? We have this high in here, right? So this is the double top that we wanted to see being taken. It was aligned with this high, and there's going to be a level in here which is going to be important, right? So there's going to be some kind of level of structure. It can be either a kind of a little bit underneath this level, that kind of the demand that breaks the low, and then can be some level of structure that is created after we break those highs. Highs, not lows. And this was the range, right? So price kind of respects this level, it holds it, and if price indeed wanted to continue to go higher, kind of this level should kind of respect price, and price should continue to go and move to the upside. If by any chance, if you do break this level, this is when you can start looking for that fake out of the false breakout of these highs in here, and this could have been definitely a good entry, maybe this at the supply level, or if you wait for the break of this low, you could have now looked for the entry maybe somewhere in here, right? Again, I'm not trading the yen index, but this is an example that you can see in so many other like happening so many times, and you can apply it for other charts, other pairs. So yeah, if you are aware of this, if you are aware that maybe now we are going to see some kind of move to the downside on the yen index, which is kind of the opposite on dollar yen and euro yen and so on. So this is when they kind of go upwards. Yeah, you take this information and you can start making decisions for the yen pairs based on what you see in the indices. And yes, we did kind of moved all the way back to the downside. We broke that level, and there you go. Moved to the downside last week. This is a little bit of a range that price still kind of, let's see if it respects or not. In here with this high, if you do break above that high, maybe there's a chance to go a little bit higher. But yes, price kind of respected this demand. I was looking for price to go maybe a little bit lower in here. Still can happen. Let's see how price behaves somewhere in here on the yen. And now let's go back to the indices. The indices, which was crazy, right? What a move yesterday, especially with the, what a move. You have been in this range for so long on the S&P and NASDAQ, and we finally broke through and we moved away from here, right? So again, just even looking at some key levels of the demand level, was even that one. But in here, this is one that it kind of may have been left behind. Price did indeed react from there, but this is one that I was looking for as well. Without this, supplies basically have been taken already. So this one was taken in there, this one was taken in here, and here, and here, and here, and all of a sudden everything has been spiked or taken. So it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And yes, I had an eye on this demand first. I was looking for price. Even when we created this low, I was already looking for price to kind of break below the low that we're having here, come to this demand zone, and then within this bigger demand on this time frame, if we actually go down, we find a smaller demand, which is actually where price reacted yesterday in here. This little thing in there, it's aligned with this left shoulder as well, that kind of made this move to the upside. We have the fake out, just similar to the dollar index that I mentioned, the fake out occurring into a good level of demand, and then we have that cam. Yeah, nice reaction just below these lows, spiked and moved away from here. And what's next, right? Looking to the upside, there's room to go there. Where to, that's kind of the question. I was even, in terms of bias to the upside, I was more looking at NASDAQ. That was giving me a little bit more confirmation in that regard of looking for a move upwards. We had already an engulf up, and we actually have another engulf up in the bigger picture, which can be interesting if price does want to go there and follow that move. Yep, now we have kind of this demand zone for sure, and even eventually we can have this one in here to maybe push price a little bit higher. Key zones, yeah, it's going to be interesting. What we have in here, we have maybe the test of this level, so maybe a little bit of some reaction in there. We have a lot of spikes in here occurring. Is price ready to go all the way up? Is price ready to go all the way up? Yeah, that's a good question. After all this range, nothing really stands out to me in here. Yeah, maybe we have this one. We have this week in here. There's a lot of spikes and weeks on the way down. Maybe need to go into maybe lower time frames to try to find out maybe where to look for. Maybe there's this one. Not sure if it was taken by that one. You have all this in here. Maybe under the test of that level, which kind of, it looks like it has been already touched on the way down by all these weeks. So this makes it a little bit weaker. So I'm not really, I think it's no longer valid. Maybe this one in here, a little bit above it, can be a little bit better. Just above all these highs. Wait. Whoa. Relax. Yeah, something above these highs in here. Maybe there's something to react from there, the base of this, and then price can maybe continue to go higher. Maybe something in here as well. Yeah, nothing really stands out to me, to be honest. on the S&P. I don't know if you guys have any level that you are looking for on the S&P, if you guys even pay attention to the S&P that you want to share. But I think you may look for more moves to the upside. This is the daily and daily time frame. Yeah, the base of that one can be maybe kind of closing this gap that is in there. Yeah, actually I have a better view on the NASDAQ, to be honest, and this is where correlation sometimes comes in place, because it may help as well find out maybe the direction of what you are looking for. So yeah, looking at the NASDAQ, for example, this is what I was looking for. Again, I've been mentioning this demand for a long time, even when this low kind of, I wanted price already to go there. It did its purpose. It kind of used as a zone to fake out, even better with a double low that was created just above it on return. And then kind of we finally reacted from there. And this was something that I was looking for. So this one, this small detail, this break above the high, I mentioned that price maybe have reacted from there, but we did broke this double top. It's actually a double top that is in there. And in my opinion, there is absolutely no reason for price to fake out a double top if the intention of the price, if the intention in here, it will be to go down, right? If the intention is to break close and continue this bearish momentum, this bearish market, there is no need for price to do this. There was actually maybe some kind of supply in here that price could easily have just respected and moved down. If they do break the double top, that for me is a clear engulf upwards, and it's an indication that price wants to go higher in the near future. That's how I kind of look at it, and it's quite similar to what we have actually in here. Right, and literally it's just like this. It's just literally a spike, takes it and it goes down. It's a similar scenario that occurred on USD CAD, for example, a few weeks ago, dollar franc Swiss as well. If you pay attention to it, there is absolutely no reason. We have a double top. A double top should sustain price if the intention to be just to completely move down. This is one of the most clear engulfs for me personally that I look at. When I see that, that's a clear indication that price may wants to go higher, and we have a similar scenario in here, even in the bigger picture in here. So let's pay attention to if NASDAQ actually is ready to go all the way there, right? We have this structure. If you go to the daily, it's maybe even cleaner. We have this double top kind of as well, a little bit in here. Not exactly, actually this size already broke that one, but you break this level. Let's go to the daily. Right, it did break this level in here. We go higher, and this can be seen most likely as an engulf up as well, and especially when it's just a spike like this. Price just spiked and then reversed straight away. There's not even kind of a retrace. There's nothing. It's literally just spike, maybe take out the liquidity from here, and at the same time, for me, it's giving the indication that it wants to go higher in the future. It doesn't mean that it's going to go higher, kind of break, retest, and go higher. No, this usually actually is also an indication, aside from being an engulf up, it's also an indication that there's a deep retrace about to happen, and especially if you had broken just the low even before that. So let's see if that happens. Let's see if NASDAQ actually is ready to go now all the way to the upside. It went all the way down to react from the origin of this move upwards. So you have this low, then you have the fake out of this low never really got there, which is perfect. Collect liquidity in here. We already have an engulf up in here, and let's see if price slowly is ready to go up. Somewhere in here can be some reaction. Let's see, we have this triple top in there, maybe somewhere in there as well, and then of course something in here could also hold price a little bit down. But yes, let's see what's going to occur now on NASDAQ, how it's going to open next week, and if the momentum to the upside is there or not. Something that I'll be paying attention in the indices. US 30, right? Dow Jones. Dow Jones, this is where it gets trickier for me on the indices, I have to admit. Because on the NASDAQ, yes, on NASDAQ I'm kind of a little bit of bullish, even though the indices is the index that actually got closer to the lower lows. But on the NASDAQ, but on the Dow Jones, from all this moving here, I'm not the biggest fan where price kind of reacted, where this low reacted from. Therefore, I wouldn't mind at all if price actually would go a little bit down and maybe feel a little bit of this range. So I'm not the biggest fan of where price kind of pausing here. It may be something that I may be missing or whatever. Personally, okay, we kind of reacted from this level. I'm not the biggest fan. I would like to see price actually going a little bit farther down. It could go up, as I mentioned quite a few times. It could go up first. We are kind of within this range. It can go up a little bit closer to that level and then maybe drop. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. NASDAQ, or not NASDAQ, Dow Jones has been in a different level. It is the one that has been retracing to the upside, kind of the most recovered the most from the move to downside during last year. It closed basically at minus 10%, minus 9%, something like that for the year, which was not bad when it was maybe minus 20. So it had actually a really good recovery. This one definitely closer to the higher highs from last year. So it's going to be interesting to see if we kind of respect something in here to then push price down. We literally broke these lows. There's maybe something in here that price could use in the future to maybe push price a little bit down. There's maybe even a chance that can go a little bit higher. So yeah, this is where a little bit of confluence, not confluence, but the divergence between my indices analysis goes into it. I could see S&P and NASDAQ going upwards. Of course, they are so correlated. Usually, when it goes, the three of them goes to maybe just a different length of the move. So yes, yeah, NAS, and we just broke above all these highs. We had all this structure. This one in here, this slight we move up as well. It could have been seen as an engulf up. I think I kind of mentioned a little bit that part because it never really reached the next level of structure. It was just literally a small move up, which could have had seen as an engulf to the upside. Right, every single detail kind of may count when you're doing your analysis. And the clues that price gives to. So yes, reaction from there, maybe even target this high and go above it, and there's maybe something in here that price can use before maybe the final move down. Muzani, do you have any key level that you are looking for on the Dow? On the Dow, are you looking for any specific thing? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are you looking for? Hi Carox, welcome to the stream. I will just, as soon as I finish this Dow Jones, I'm going to go to Euro Yen. To Euro Yen, no, to Euro Dollar, sorry. Yeah, Muzani, are you looking for anything? We kind of have this level structure as well, so we have this one in here. Price close reacting from this level. Looks suspicious bullish, right? But are you looking at anything in here close to the highs where you are looking for? Do you have any level in here that you are looking for? 34,400 or something like that. Something above this high. This high kind of took this one in here, and there's maybe a little bit more of a room in there to go to. On the other hand, we have this this spike in here that never really got close to this supply level. So there's maybe something in there as well that price can still use in the future. Something in here, maybe align with these guys. We broke the low in here first, so there's already kind of that dynamic of a move down. Maybe need to go into the lower time frame to see if there's anything in there. First time you're looking at that this year. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, on the lower time frame, let's try to find out something. So we had all these 3 weeks that kind of stood out to me already. Just even more in here. So all this has been, we have all these 3 weeks, so maybe price already is reacting from this level. It was still fresh. Maybe there's something in here. I don't know if this is where price is reacting or not. Is it or not? Yep, it is, right? So it's kind of, yeah, it was a little bit predicted. No, it's just maybe it's just a reaction, and then price may just react from here and maybe continue to the upside. So it's going to be important to see how price is going to behave around this level. That is kind of the new structure created after the break of this high. But yes, this is exactly when you are looking for a few zones, maybe just for a scalp opportunity or for a setup. This is the type of level that you are looking, that it's nice to look for. Come on, zoom in. Good, right? You can see it's literally, if you just find these levels, we have kind of these three highs in here with these spikes. We have the demand, the supply level is literally in there, and there's almost no reason for these guys, at least on this time frame, on the 15 minutes. Maybe on 1 minute there's a spike in there, a price went there, at least on this time frame, and maybe if you go to 1 hour as well, or whatever, none of these highs really reacted from there. It's aligned as well with these levels of previous support. So yes, just looking for a small reaction there. You can find scalping opportunities in these levels. This is a nice way to look for. Eventually, if everything is in alignment, if this is a higher time frame level, and if you start having breaks of lows, whatever, maybe this level can actually become the level where you have the biggest or the big reversal occurring. So yeah, finding these levels, there's absolutely no reason for these highs not touch that level. So there's still orders in there left behind. Yeah, maybe something in here again. Why did this guy never really got there? Not really sure why. Of course, then in the future we're going to find out why. Or why did it actually, this level was left behind. May have this left shoulder in here, something like this. May a little bit in that level. Not sure if I like it. Yeah, we have the base of this one. So this is basically the last demand created the higher high. So usually these levels can also be interesting in the future. In alignment, actually it already reacted from there, from this spike. There you go. Maybe that's why there was no need to go there. Basically, price already took the orders from here. So this is done already. So yeah, no longer interested in that in this level. But this is another good level to pay attention to in the future. Any last demand created, especially when you have such a strong move up, this is actually a good level to look for in the future. Just draw an horizontal line from here or a small rectangle and push it through the right side and try to find out eventually in the future if there's anything in there to be reacting from. And you'll be surprised how many times that level is respected in the future. So yeah, maybe something in there. If you continue to move higher, there's maybe even something at the extremes in there on the Dow Jones. So yeah, to the downside, yeah, strong pull level. Yeah, I agree with you. We actually took a little bit this level. So yeah, paying attention to how price reacts from here. Again, when you're looking like this, or look at this, we have this one, price spike, price went down. Yeah, this was a last supply level that price kind of should have respected. It didn't. Now it's kind of respecting in here and price goes up. So yeah, looking for that. It's interesting. Let's move on from here. Let's go to the major FX pairs. Euro dollar. Karox, what you're looking for on the euro dollar? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are you looking for? Any key level that you are looking for? Damn it, my coffee got cold. My coffee is cold now. It's not the same. Euro dollar. You have a sell limit at 1660. Sorry? It's missing a zero there, no? Ah. Alright. Good. Otherwise you'll be waiting years to that order. I sell limit at 10666. Somewhere in here. Yeah, maybe. So price kind of is respecting this last supply. Kind of closed in there. We kind of have this level in here where price, yeah, left literally with this supply behind. None of these highs went there. This was one of the reasons I should have sold it on Thursday, but because I didn't really like all these highs in here, and yeah, whatever. I never like when I have all this, when I have a fresh supply above it. I'm kind of always afraid of that last spike, but there was a reason, there was a PA enough sell it in here on Thursday, where after price kind of respected to the pip almost the last supply within this high, and now the move in here, it was actually kind of start showing bearish momentum. And I was already bearish because I didn't really like where this low reacted, so I was still bearish. So yeah, we did that. Price went all the way down, whatever. And then yesterday we had NFP. As I mentioned, I think euro dollar, it was the only one, at least on my broker, on my data, it was the only one that actually spiked below the low. Everything else kind of had a spike but stayed above the low. Looking at the euro dollar, even yesterday during the NFP, I was talking with Faden. Yeah, this was a low. This spike in here, can you see it on 4-hour time frame? This spike from this candle, from this bearish candle, that kind of paused in there and never really reacted from the demand. I was looking definitely for this low to be taken. This is a level that I was looking for, and price did exactly that. Price approached exactly, and it took this low. It didn't even reacted from kind of the demand zone. Apparently it was enough just to take these lows. On the same token, or at the same time, dollar index was reacting really nicely from the level that I was looking for, which was that supply, and everything started to get in alignment. Euro, Aussie dollar as well, pound dollar kind of as well, dollar CAD as well. So everything was basically in alignment in terms of reacting from not exactly the same levels, but similar levels that usually can lead to good retrace or to good reversals. So yeah, price kind of took this one, and it ended up reacting from here. I was actually looking a little bit lower, but this was definitely enough on the euro to look for the reversal. Again, what did you have the last basically end of Thursday and Monday and Friday morning? We have all this compression, right? We literally are taking every single supply. We start having all this compression going on, which is also a good approach to eventually have the reversal occurring. So yeah, everything in here was spiked, and now we reach this level. So from here, let's see what the euro is going to do. We are looking at 10666. To be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of everything that occurred in here. So this was actually could have been a good sell. Again, it was basically the last trading day of the year, and it was already in the evening, so it's not exactly the best moment to take trades. Monday morning, the 2nd of August, the 2nd of January, I don't even know who's trading at this during that day. In order to fill orders, when I saw price moving away from here, I actually thought, I think price wants to retrace to this level, because I'm not sure if anyone wanted to fill their orders in here. I don't know if that many participants did that. So looking at the euro to retrace somewhere in here, I think it would make sense before if it wants to do any big sell-off or drop from here. However, where is your stop loss? Are you looking just for a small scalp? Are you looking for a stop loss above the highs? What are you looking for in there? Yeah, there's maybe something in here that this highs never really reached there. I'm not sure how big of a move it's going to occur from this level. I don't like anything in here. Above this high, I don't think I like anything that is going on in here. All in here looks compressed to me. So if we do break above that level, I think we may want to go higher. At least I changed my time frame and it's still the same. Everything looks terrible. Maybe there's something in here. Aside from that, I don't really see anything in there. You are looking for this. Yeah, that level 1066 has been kind of respected quite a few times on the left side. It doesn't really tell me anything special in there. 0693. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, right. I had cold coffee until it sized. Yeah, unless it's sized, right? Yeah. I didn't realize, man. It's almost already 1 hour stream. I was just talking. I thought I would have a small break in here to drink my coffee. It was too hot when I started. Now it's cold. And I hate it when I warm it kind of in the microwave. It's just the taste is completely different. So it was completely terrible. Shakil, thank you for subscribing, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Forex and I will short you on the ground. To the ground. Yeah, I will as well. Now, question is price going to be somewhere in here? Last week, if you guys remember, and for sure you do, Pedro, we look at euro dollar and do with the potential scenario if price wanted to fake out still this high in here, right? And we found a little bit of a zone a little bit above it, which would be at around where was it? 107,536, something like that. Still a little bit above in there. Let me just show it again, just one more time. Where was it? Where are we? In here. This is in the scenario that price wants to go and fake out the high. So because the high is actually reacting from this level, and this kind of the extreme of this high is a little bit above it, and it looks that it is still maybe fresh. There maybe still orders somewhere in here that price may want to use. Because price kind of is reacting. The high of it on the euro at this point is somewhere in here. One of these two lines, don't even know which one now. But there's literally a little bit maybe more that price can go if it wants to still kind of react from there. So I'm going to still keep an eye on that level. On the euro, now within this level, I'm not sure if there's anything above this. Looking at the higher time frame, maybe this level in here, this small zone, it's maybe could be level to have some reaction. Stop it. Yep, good. Stay there. You are saying small pocket around 0693. Where is 0693? 0693. I'm looking at this one. 069. I lost again. 98. Where is 98? Okay, Pedro. Yeah, okay, I can see this one. Okay, okay. I can maybe just collect your stop losses if price will go there. I'm kidding. Yeah, this one in here, right? There's. Come on, stop it. Go left. Yeah, okay, come on, look, and I have no idea what happened in there. And this one as well is a little bit tricky. Yeah, I can see this one react from the base of this. This one has that one in there. We have this high as well that kind of broke below. But look, what kind of PA is this, right? What I can't even understand the candles in here. Anyway, this is how price was moving on the 2nd of January. So no one was really trading in here, which is weird. So yeah, maybe it's going to be risky. I'll be paying attention for sure at the approach. On your level, Carox, yeah, maybe actually I start to enjoy a little bit more this one. Why not faking out all these highs and maybe have a little bit of a reaction? Maybe in there as well. I think after such a strong momentum to the upside, and this is a pattern that I was looking for last year as well. On Monday, I think I'm expecting price to kind of continue on the same direction after such a strong move. And if I'm looking for any big reversals, I'm most likely going to be waiting for Tuesday to occur. So yes, maybe price can go a little bit higher. It can retrace a little bit, maybe, and then kind of find something else to continue to go higher. So what I would like to see, it would be maybe London up, whatever price my opens during the Asian session on the London to see kind of a momentum to the upside. London open, price to go a little bit higher, then maybe around, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that AM UK time, price may retrace a little bit, and eventually we're going to have a new higher high being created. Now let's see until where that goes to, but this is usually what I'm going to try to see more on Monday. If the London Open occurs, if the London Open is strong to the upside, kind of following the same direction as Friday, that's kind of the pattern that I've tried to follow. I've tried to find some kind of reverse a little bit between 10, 11 AM, and then kind of a continuation, and looking forward to break new highs. The new highs that were the highs that were created around before that reversal, I want to see those highs being taken, and that can be a trade, and you can even kind of maybe trail stops or whatever it may be for the continuation. You may have another second good move in the same direction, especially after such a strong day like we just occurred, and then let the big reversal occur. If that's about to happen, make the reversal occur on Tuesdays, which is usually the day where reversals occur, either Tuesdays or or Wednesday morning as well. It's when I see more often reversals occurring in the week. You are looking for a long-term swing, stop loss above 107. They're looking for a stop loss above the high, right? 17157. Where is 5? Arbitrary above the high. Yeah. I would wait. I would wait a little bit. So you like to trade with savvy mid straight away? I would like to see some weakness first. How was the approach on the euro? Because at this point, okay, maybe I broke a little bit in here. Because at this point we're literally compressing to the upside, but we're not breaking any lows. So maybe what you would like, maybe something that you could do. So you have this high in here, and then you have these highs. I'm not expecting price to kind of just touch and kind of reverse, especially on Mondays. I don't really expect that. Maybe what you could like to do is just wait and see. Let's just wait and see if prices continues to move higher. Wait until maybe there's some kind of a break of a low before looking for that sell. Because otherwise, maybe price may just want to continue to slowly move to the upside. And maybe you're entering a 7 minute without price actually showing you that it wants to go lower. Maybe there's an extra confirmation that you could try to find in there. Kind of pick a target, pick a low that you like to see being broken. For example, this one, like this point is fresh. Maybe price could go there. Maybe something in here. So we'll see. Looking at this level, maybe some of these supplies in here. Price could react and go. Yeah. So it depends. For a swing trade, I wouldn't be looking for. Now, what I'm looking for is just maybe some zones where I may look for a small short. Any short that I'm be taking from here now, it's going to be kind of as a scalp until I have actually proper show or euro show me that actually it wants to start reversing once again. Kind of start breaking lows before actually I take a long-term short in here. So yeah. Yeah, it's really messed up on top. Yeah, really messed up on top. It was after a year, so tricky. After New Year. Yeah, it was after New Year, right? So yeah. So if on the other hand, as I mentioned, maybe dollar index, as if you were here in the beginning, dollar index is still kind of a demand at the lows that can maybe hold price. And maybe when price gets there, that's maybe when you have a little bit of that retracement occurring on Monday session. The one I'm saying is this one. Oh, this is euro dollar. Yeah, this one in here, there's a little bit of a demand in here. Maybe we can go below these lows, and eventually when price gets in here, that's maybe a moment where it's going to have some kind of retracement. You can even just retrace, for example, from here towards this level. This was the demand that should have been respected. It was not. Maybe towards this level, and then maybe continue, and you finally may break and take new lows on dollar index, right? So, or if by any chance the price actually starts going much higher, maybe that's where price eventually going to go higher. At this point, I'm looking more for a downside. But yes, when eventually price gets here on Monday, let's see how the market's going to open. Hopefully price opens a little bit to the upside and goes there a little bit later. But yes, when price gets in here, maybe there's a chance to see some move to the downside on the euro and maybe on the Aussie and so on. So yeah, keeping an eye on this euro and this dollar index as well, and maybe this is a level that can hold price to the downside as well, because this level maybe should have hold price to the downside. So what I wanted to say is, yeah, looking at comparing, for example, dollar index and the euro, this is more of a clean level in here that maybe can hold price to the upside on dollar index, comparing with the euro dollar in terms of looking actually for a short. In everything looks spiked the way it is at the highs, which is quite different. So yeah, back to the euro. So yeah, levels that we were looking, that we talked about, fading somewhere in here. This level may be a little bit fresh, not really sure about in there, and then something in here that could occur. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here. The low, something that's important as well. It looks like, personally, I mentioned so many times that all this will compress, and eventually I would like to see euro going there. The reality is actually reacted from this level in here. This, paying attention as well when you have these strong spikes, keeping an horizontal line in there. It's usually a really nice level to look for reactions, especially if there's still a fresh demand kind of in alignment with here. So paying attention on these levels, keeping an eye on them, it's also a good thing to do, because it's kind of attractive and price likes to react from those levels as well. So yeah, eventually, yes, I'm still kind of bearish on the euro. I'm still like to see the euro going down. Question mark is from where. Pound. It went all the way and it never really reached that level, but it was another one that DPI, it was interesting. Yeah, pound, actually it was the first one to start moving away. When you created the lows, it started moving away. I noticed this small engulf up. In here there's a break of these highs, slight break to the upside in here, and it was the first one between all the major FX pairs. It was the first one that actually started moving away. Euro, Aussie, and so on, and dollar CAD and so on, kind of stayed a little bit more longer in here, while pound was already kind of moving away. This could have been a long. Again, I kind of stayed too much with the, or focused too much on the dollar yen. It was the one that I traded, but there was more opportunities in here. And again, this is a great level. The spike where the spike occurred to, it was a great level. It's actually kind of a quasi-model level as well, where price eventually went and spiked during the news. So yeah, nice move on the pound, where it was reacting to as well on the left side. It was close to kind of this level, which is a daily level as well. So it was a good level to look for. Next, maybe somewhere in here, or even to finally take these highs and go higher on the pound. You can even go into more detail exactly of the level that maybe price reacted to. This is what I was looking for. Was another one, price go up, goes down, a little bit higher, somewhere in here. It was a zone that I was looking for, and that's exactly kind of where it reacted from. Again, all the compression to the downside, that was a great, and it's something that it's amazing to see on the approach. So if you identify this kind of approach just before a big news event, just pay attention to it, just find the break and try to go into that direction, right? So everything was kind of in alignment in there as well. And what's next, right? What's next for the pound? We even had broken a little bit this high in here. Are we going to go all the way through and fill out this level? There's maybe this level in here at around 1.21689. I think this is a level that we already talked about a few weeks ago, Faden as well. I think you mentioned that level. All this looks compressed in here, kind of respect to that level. I think this level in here has already been taken by that one. So I think you can see a little bit more of a move to the upside on the pound. And eventually, maybe some reaction from there, but eventually maybe can actually turn and target this high and go all the way back to here and somewhere in there. Now, as the move to downside finished, kind of yes or no, when this, are we ready to maybe go all the way back and create new highs, or is this just kind of another break to the downside, kind of showing indication that it wants to go a little bit lower, maybe reaching somewhere this level in here, and everything that pound is going to do is maybe continue to move higher until it kind of goes down again. On the pound, again, we had this double top, so I can't recognize that maybe still something in there, but some level that I'm still looking at is exactly a little bit more at the extreme. So this double top that we created in December last year, kind of reacting from here, and we still have that little zone above it. So it's going to be interesting to see eventually when price gets here. I could see some reaction, kind of maybe price looks like it's creating maybe another double or triple top. Looks like the highs are being respected, and eventually we can have that fake out. It's going to be a lot depending on the approach as well. That's something that I'll be paying attention to. In here can be a zone to hold price up. This was a level of supply that should have been respected, and price didn't really respect that level, so can have a little bit overtrace. Continuation to the upside. Kind of have all this compression in here now. Yeah. Any takes on the pound that you guys may be looking at? Yeah, something in there, something that I'll be looking for, and yeah, I'll eventually targeting all this. So yeah, maybe tomorrow, if you have another continuation to the upside, if you have that Monday kind of pattern that I was talking about of price moving in the same direction as previous Friday, when you have such a strong move, maybe we can see price maybe reaching. It's not that far away. It's kind of 60 pips away. On average, yeah, ADR we are around 126 pips. It's not that much. Price can definitely kind of reach that level. If it opens even a little bit lower, it can reach there. So it's something to pay attention to on the pounds. Yes, I would like to see price going higher, targeting this high and go higher. And I think I still see this one as a move down. I still would like to see price going a little bit down as well. In here, and if you continue to see like this, maybe the RNX is going to continue to move down. Yeah, key levels in here, somewhere in there, somewhere at the base of this can be something for a small scalp maybe. Eventually I would like to see this high being taken on pound. Yeah, Aussie. Aussie was my worst this week. I missed a lot of opportunities. Yeah, I missed the sell from there, I missed the sell from here, and I basically didn't really focus on trying to look for the long. Again, this level, it was funny, I was talking even with Pedro as well. So I wanted to see this wall being taken. Right, so when you have these zones in here, so this is the wall created, kind of overall it creates kind of a demand zone of this in a higher time frame, and I wanted to see exactly this one. There's going to be something in here when price is creating that eventually it wants to be taken. Kind of this one, it kind of creates a little bit of a gap in here, and this was the wall. And I mentioned I want to see this wall in here. I wanted to see be taken before the move up. Yeah, and this is exactly what I was looking for. I'm aware that this is kind of the demand zone, but on 1 minute I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it being taken. There was a chance that price eventually could even take this wall, maybe react a little bit further down, but on a higher time frame, it was literally a demand zone that created all this move to the upside. Once again, the approach is so important. What we have in here is that yesterday night on the Friday's Asian session, price even already kind of broke a little bit above this level. It went there, and then you can see how this compression move, right? And there you go. This was the line. I noticed as well that we had kind of this double low created still above that wick. And again, I mentioned to Faden, come on, taking that double low. We are still respecting kind of this supply at this point. and there you go. The take, it took the low, it took this above all, it took the wick on the left side, it broke the high, and this could have been a great entry. I didn't want to be too exposed to the goddamn NFP. I was focused 100% on just trading the dollar yen, and I ended up being stopped out on the second position of the dollar yen. Then I ended up missing the move in there, and I ended up not trading Aussie dollar, which was also perfect. Maybe if my stop loss was just below here, maybe there was a chance that even I would get stopped out as well with the spread. This is kind of just a 4 pips, kind of like this, unless I move my stop loss a little bit below. But yeah, we'll never know if I would get kind of faked out as well, or stopped out by the spread. In this moment, I literally saw the spread kind of got a little bit widened, maybe 4, 5, 6 pips maximum, and there you go. Take it. But another good level in here, where price reacted to. It's another kind of Quasimodo level just in here, and from there it went. It feels straight away the compression move, still reacted downside, and it's basically free to go all the way up, right? Because every single supply has basically been taken on the way down, and this is maybe the last one that was still fresh, and as you can see, it has already kind of been used, but to the opposite side, right? So this is another thing that you may want to pay attention to when you have all of a sudden this kind of news and price is literally just trending in one direction. Something to pay attention to, try to, if you are a trend continuation trader, right? I'm not, I'm much more of a reversal, but it's something that I'm trying to start to implement in my own trading. And these are the levels. Identify which levels are still fresh, kind of draw that horizontal line in there, or whatever it may be, and wait for price to break through. And if it is not kind of respected to the downside as it should, there's a high chance it can be kind of used as a long, especially in this kind of news or days. It's going to be used as a long, and you can maybe try to find your entry in favor of the trend in that trading session. And there you go. You can have another examples as well in here along the way, where price kind of, it has that zone that should be respected to the downside. It's not, it breaks and kind of uses in the future. At this point, price all the way back to respect the highs, and personally I'm kind of looking for price to go higher and to go a little bit closer to this level, and yeah, maybe can have that double top now being taken, and maybe can have a turn in here. At this point, I'm not really sure. I'm going to be looking for some reaction from here, a little bit from above it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be from there that's going to have the major turn. Maybe price can actually start going a little bit higher on the house eventually, and maybe targeting somewhere in there to look for a reaction. Yeah, somewhere in there that could be, or even a little bit higher, but yeah, I'm not really sure now. Maybe this level has already the reaction that it should have, even though we kind of still have this left shoulder all the way there. Yeah, I'll be looking for price to fake out this size and go a little bit closer to this level. I have all these alarms, alerts in here, and let's see what happened afterwards. Let's see what's going to happen afterwards. In here, price can respect that level first, and maybe continue. But I'm going to be looking for price to fake out this size at this point on the Aussie. But again, great approach, great reaction, and all the compression to the downside straight away into this level, kind of fake out the low, and there you go, move to the upside. Another good one. Again, study if you want, study how price moved away from those levels. It was quite great, and you can always learn, try to be ready for the next one, right? There's going to be more news, there's going to be more big news events, big reactions. So yeah, this is not the last one, so it's always good to study them, to be ready to catch the next ones. And yeah, let's go to this yen dollar. Yeah, yen dollar. So yeah, big compression again in this case, we actually took the high to something that I was looking to occur. The first time that we took it, actually took a short in there. I shorted somewhere in here. Was it in here? Where was it? Yeah, it was in here, kind of price went down. My target was already kind of a little bit below, but it's actually a lesson for me. Yes, I was aware of this demand. End up being a break-even level, especially after price kind of there, yeah, move break-even. This is actually a lesson, and the lesson is, especially on days with NFP, or kind of an anticipation for big news, there's a high probability that whatever move you are looking for, kind of 2-3 hours before that, before the news event, there's a high probability that, especially in a compression move, price wants just to retrace, take any single demand and kind of go. It's still most likely, or there's a big chance that this is not the moment for the big reversal. And I was maybe already looking for a little bit of that. On the yen, I was aware that we just took the high. I think that moment we already taken the high in here. So it could be, and that's kind of the reason that I actually took the short. But more often than not, price will just continue, and it's going to be maybe 1 hour before, or a little bit closer to the timing when price actually is going to reverse. So yeah, be a little bit more aggressive or more conservative. Take my profits along the way if I'm trading a little bit before, a few hours before this kind of news. So yeah, that's maybe a lesson in there for me. They're building a bullish. I will wait. Yeah, next trading live, I want Pedro to be my mate. Oh my god. Building a bullish scenario now. What is your bullish scenario? What are you looking for? I gotta be ready for everything for sure. I'm still reading the same book with the Thinking Probabilities. Such a good book, and it shows exactly that, the power of not seeing world as black and white, or 100% this or 100% that, or 100% wrong or right, or not even allocating your own good outcome to skill or bad luck, right? Many people does that. Many people take anything that successfully occurs in their life, they think it's because of them, because of their skill, because of whatever the work they did, and everything that occurs in a negative way, they kind of look at it as a bad luck, and they may blame others or whatever. It's not 100%, not even for the good things or for the bad things. There's luck into it as well, and it's trying to identify what's the percentage of that luck, that in order to learn from it. And to manage progress. And in creating scenarios for trading, it's exactly that. It's about creating scenarios, maybe allocating some kind of probability, be ready for identify which bias or setups you'd like more to occur, but if it doesn't, be ready already with a few alternatives. But yes, you don't even need to trade the opposite biggest bias that you have, but at least you are aware of it, and you can kind of change your mind faster. It's a good thing for trading. This guy. So yes, we went to this moment. On the 5 minutes, there is a level in there on the left side. Personally, I didn't really took this short on the yen just based on whatever I was looking on the left side. I could see this small zone. I didn't really give that much importance to it. It was literally still based a little bit on the fake out of the high and how the approach that I was seeing. Price was reacting for somewhere in here and there. But yes, it was literally more because I was following the yen for, I don't know, for the last 2 hours, basically since my break even as well. Even before that, how this move in here, since you took the high, I've been following yen, how the move up. I realized it in here we actually broke a new low. I still didn't want to trade it, and then we saw all this compression. And within all this compression, I even have it on the 10-second chart in here. Maybe that one actually could provide me a little bit more detail of what we saw in here. Because yes, we had this level in here. Come on, man. Are you joking or what? Where did I get short? I think I got short somewhere in here. I don't really remember now. I got short after some rejection. Yeah, I got short somewhere in here. Because I saw the rejection, I saw price kind of respecting that level, and as soon as I saw that, I got short. I put a self stop in there, and I got short. I got target 1 somewhere in here, so T1 was there, so I made money in the trade, even though I kind of got stopped out in the second one. And then how I managed my trade was, yes, it's NFP. I wanted to gamble. My second position, I was aware of all this compression, so actually my second target was kind of close to these lows. That's where my second target was. It would have been a great risk-reward trade in there. But the way I was looking at it, initially when you had this big move down, there was some kind of liquidity 5 minutes before that actually managed to get my target 1, which is something that I like to do during the news. Is yes, I may not open a position 5 minutes before the news, but if it is kind of half an hour before, I'm still kind of looking for maybe during that half an hour for price to at least reach my target 1. And then after that is kind of, call it a gamble, call it whatever it want to be, right? Just kind of hopefully price is going to go into your direction. You never 100% know, even though I was fully bearish on the dollar. If I had placed my stop loss to break even at this point, because I think I opened in here, and initially I actually did that when price kind of moved down and I reached my target. I actually moved my stop loss to break even, but then I kind of had a quick analysis in here and I noticed I'm not going to do that, because I literally can see that this is a good level of supply. And I mentioned quite a few times, right? On the 10-second chart, it will be so much better to look at this. I don't have the thingy now open. So yes, I noticed that. So what I decided to do is my stop loss initially was above this high, and I decided to just place my stop loss above the supply level. That's where I placed my stop loss in the end. Regardless, I still made money off the trade. But yes, price went exactly there, so I'm happy with my decision of not placing at break even. But then I literally just got stopped out in there. This is maybe, again, maybe a 5 pips spread that price open, and that's it. And all of a sudden the drop, and there it went. There it went to the downside. But yes, this was my approach in here on the yen. I saw the approach. I really like actually when I follow price for a few hours. It's kind of a hunting. It's kind of a sniper, kind of waiting, analyzing everything, looking at every single piece of PA that goes around until we see actually the rejection. And that's actually when I got short. I was kind of doing the same on the Aussie and even the euro as well. But I stuck with the dollar yen in order to trade it. You guys are back to the euro, right? You're looking for a buy on the euro on dollar yen at 130, 80, and 30. 130 is way below. Ooh, 138 to 6, 138. Somewhere in here. Yeah, I'll do it here, right? 832 as a buy, a little bit above it. Yeah, I can see that is in here. Now 83. What the hell is this one? Well, it's basically the same thing. 826, 826. Somewhere in here, it's kind of around the same level. You guys are looking at the same thing, somewhere in here. Yeah, it can be. I just want to check where the low is reacting from. So another thing with this one is that we actually broke the high, right? So this actually can be seen as an engulf to the upside, and price may still need to go there, or even go a little bit higher. The question now for me, it would be, Yeah, I can see this one. This is actually a good level. However, I still want to make sure that the low is this low reacting from a good level on the left side. Is this the final move on the yen for price to go down, for price to go up? Or are they going to kind of still continue to move a little bit lower, getting closer to this level? That's my question looking at the bigger picture at this point on the yen. Is exactly that. Is this low where the low is reacting from? Is it the final destination before we have this? Our price does want to go a little bit lower before we do that. So that is something to look at. Now on the daily, yes, we can see that these levels are all still fresh. This low never reacted from there. We just broke this high. Yes, we can maybe even do that, go here and maybe go down after that, or even go a little bit higher, or even in here that maybe this level is still fresh as well. So yes, there's maybe a few opportunities in here. And when you start having kind of this compression move, anytime you have this compression move, yes, there's opportunities even to go long, to go short, to whatever. Price most likely is going to be giving opportunities for both scenarios. And yes, I do like around this level. I want to see price going below this low. There's even a chance that price maybe can start reacting from this wick in here, from this level. When you take this low, there's maybe a chance for price to actually bounce from there. We have this demand zone that kind of should have been respected. Can maybe go down. So yeah, we can definitely, and this is a low that I'll be targeting. I want to see dollar yen to go all the way down in here. Jesus, these yen pairs, now that I'm looking at it, I just remember now my euro yen pair short from end of last year that I also got kind of stopped out by a pip or so, and price started the biggest move. Yeah, kind of these yen pairs are own me something. I need to get my share out of it, man. Yeah, so I'm looking for maybe some reaction in here first, and then eventually price can maybe go eventually build up from there. In here, there's maybe something in there for price to hold it. Eventually can get there, and yeah, get in here. Again, the approach can be important. Looking down, yeah, maybe this low already reacted from there. On the other time frame, which time frame was I? Looked like there was something in there still. Yeah, in here on this 4-hour time frame, there's maybe something still in there that this low may have not reacted to. Let me just check how that looks like on these time frames. Yeah, it may be a little bit compressed, and this is maybe where eventually the last fresh order was. Or maybe there's actually still something in there. Yeah, so price reacted exactly from here. So this is a good level where the yen reacted, is through that demand zone. Question mark is on that 4-hour time frame, kind of is still fresh, maybe on the base of this. So yeah, question mark if there's something still underneath that low that price may wants to go and visit. Something in here that price can maybe still go. This one was already taken by this one. Now we create kind of this fake out. Something in here, or even react from this little zone in there at 129.818 in alignment with this low as well, and in alignment with these guys. So yeah, let's see on the 4-hour time frame, maybe there's something in here that maybe we can still use. And your levels is in here, right? So this is where you guys are looking for. Spiked in there, price goes down somewhere in there, 829, something like this. Yeah, definitely. This one we have a spike, price goes, and in here also below these lows, this is taken. SR level. Yeah, and in here, in alignment with this one, so we have maybe something like this. So yeah, that'll be, and we have all these lows in here, kind of reacting from that level. So we kind of started this new compression level in here. We hold price in here. I want to see price taking these lows. Maybe price can react from there a little bit and then continue to move down. Kind of what I'll be looking for on the end. I think if it go down there, it will take the lows, but it will closer in each. Yeah, I think, yeah, if it gets this close to the lows, I think we're going to have new lows as well on the yen. Let's see. We took the highs, right? So that's something to be aware of in terms of a potential big trade to the upside. Yeah, the high on this one, it may be just an engulf to the upside. I'm not really sure as well. As I have that 5 minutes again. The reason for me to take that short was not exactly based on whatever price was reacting on that side. It was more based on the fake out in here, being bearish on the dollar, and how the approach that I was kind of following, that I was noticing on the yen. So that can literally be maybe as an engulf upwards. Yeah, and this also we can maybe go into the yen index, and analyzing that can also help identify the potential level to reverse in here as well. Yeah, a little bit in there. I'm not the biggest fan of this one, to be honest. This one is taken. Maybe a little bit higher, 139. Is this with the spikes? Where are the spikes? Yeah, I need to wait and see. I need to see where price is reacting. Price kind of already reacted from there in here. So this is actually kind of taken. In here, price is spiked there. There's maybe something in here that price can definitely still use. This high kind of never really got there. So almost all this starts to be compressed on the way down, and price can maybe go there somewhere in here and continue to move to the downside. Yeah, something can occur, or even kind of take the high, something reacting in there. Have this left shoulder in there. Then maybe continue down. So there's yeah, let's see if we do have that deep retracement, not deep, but a little bit of retracement. Maybe continue then to the downside, or even take the low first. Take the low first, react from that level, goes a little bit higher, whatever it creates in here, and then continue down until we reach that level. Which kind of, in this time frame, I kind of like this level in here. But let's see. Yeah, dollar yen. Yes, sometimes the engulf up can steal it to a lower low, and that's exactly true. And that's why when that occurs, it's usually because maybe the lower low that we are seeing in here, it hasn't really reached kind of the final destination. Yes, this lower low is reacting a little bit from here. However, I'm not sure if price doesn't really want to go a little bit closer there. So that's a little bit the tricky situation on the yen. Is this low reacting from kind of the final destination before we have that big retracement that made it all the way there. That's kind of something to pay attention to. Now, looking at this, yes, I can still see some levels in there, and I'm expecting some reactions from me. I'm not expecting just price to completely break through and ignore completely everything in here. I could see some reaction. Now, are we going from here all the way up, or are we going to just from here maybe retest next level and continue to go down, right? So there's maybe for sure maybe some opportunities in there to look for some reactions, especially starting after breaking off this low. But yes, yeah. For example, in this case, we kind of broke these highs, but kind of where this low reacted to, it was not even kind of the final destination there. So there was a little bit more room, and in reality this size didn't really reacted from that level, and this is where kind of it reacted. So that goes a little bit the dynamic of how price is moving. Yes, it's a little bit different from, for example, the NASDAQ in terms of the break of a high in that scenario, right? The low was already reacting from a good level, then you break a high, then kind of just retest the low and you're ready to go. Yeah, question mark is this level. On the weekly, it looks like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Even looking at this on the monthly, on the opposite, in the monthly, maybe, yeah, correct. Maybe this is something that is important. Maybe. We even broke a weekly high as well. Yes, and it broke that level in there. So kind of price could go maybe retest that level. But yeah, in there, and even eventually target this or this and go in there as well. But yes, looking somewhere in there could be an option. There's a question mark on the end for me. But yes, after we break this low, I'm looking for some kind of longs, and then let's see. Dollar franc Swiss, we can go to dollar franc Swiss. Right, 1 second, let's just look at euro yen first. So yeah, euro yen, the other one was this one. Then I will remember it. We'll remember that one. Euro yen, for example, yes, we do have this double low. I don't think we broke the low. Eventually, that can be broken. Eventually that can be broken for sure. We are in this range. Again, where did price reacted from? Okay, nice level. I would like to see price actually going a little bit above that level, taking this high, closing this gap, and after that, yes, maybe we could resume the move downside. It's a little bit in alignment with these highs in here. Yeah, or eventually we can even go a little bit higher, right? So let's see how price is going to be high from here. May have a little bit of a room in there to go down, and yes, going a little bit lower could be an option eventually. So yeah, looking somewhere in there for a massive sell. There's maybe even something now created around the level where it reversed yesterday. It has been already spiked quite a lot, so I'm not really sure. Has been taken, maybe a little bit in there. Yeah, could continue. So nice reaction from that level. I'm looking for there and a little bit there. So yeah, let it maybe continue to create all this compression, even maybe break a low and then continue the compression until eventually you may have a turn, maybe similar to what happened in here, where it build up the compression level. Where it create new highs until maybe finally have a massive move down. Yeah, a little bit of different moves. Again, it was not just a yen situation, it was a little bit related to the euro as well. We had yen going down so strongly, we had euro going up so strongly, and all of a sudden what you end up with on the euro yen is kind of a range market, a range price behavior in there. Okay, let's go to dollar franc Swiss and then we go to CAD. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss, it was another one. This level, it was something that I was looking for. In here, it was one of the final levels. So we had this supply that was holding price. It was a little bit of a move similar to the dollar index. I wanted to see it still. This low has kind of been taken before a turn. I'm actually still looking for price to break this low before a turn. For some reason, I would actually still like to see this low in here being taken before maybe a massive, before a big reversal. price broke these highs. It never reached this supply level, respected this demand. It went there, and now yesterday it just took the high and it basically reversed. So that was a level that I was looking for as well. This one is one of the last ones. Maybe a little bit of a reaction in here, and eventually at the extreme, and you can maybe target all the way back and go above these highs. Something in here. Which is music. So yeah, at this point, good reaction. Dollar franc Swiss, I've done that analysis in the higher time frame quite a few times. In the bigger picture, I think I'm totally bearish. This level in here, I think is going to be important. We almost have all this compression in here, which I could target this level. I could target this one is taken, I think, a little bit of the lows. So I would like to see actually this low being taken, and kind of this can open the door to eventually price fill out this range. But after we do that, I think that's maybe now the scenario where it can finally go higher, even though I'm not really sure anything in here. Like, price has been has been touched that level so many times that I have no clue exactly what's going on in now this behavior, and price maybe can even go a little bit lower. We'll see. But I would like to see price taking this low in here, and it hasn't done that. Maybe on the lower time frame there's just still, where are we? Yeah, maybe on the lower time frame there's maybe something in here that could hold price after the takeoff, after breaking this low. We could see some reversal. On the bigger picture, I really like where this size reacted from. Right, it was still fresh, this level, fake out this level. If this was a 15 minutes time frame chart, I would definitely target. As soon as you break this level, I would definitely be looking for price to go there. Now this is a daily or weekly almost time frame, so this may take months to occur. We are having all this compression, so price literally took this level in here, but still fresh, this level. And let's see, all this looks a little bit compressed. If you do break below that low, I think you can go down, even potentially break the lows. What is your take, Carox, on the dollar franc Swiss? Like, what level are you looking for? Are you bearish? Are you looking for longs? What are you looking for? Are you looking for longs still above these lows? What are you looking for? I think eventually price could go here and then kind of resume the move to the downside. But yes. The price ever reacted from here. Looking for long still above the lows. Again, now this was end of the year, 2nd of December, so similar to the euro, it's hard even to find out whatever it's going on in here. Okay, we may have this level a little bit in here. Not really sure. Something below these lows maybe, and then maybe price can start showing and reversing. I'm okay with where price reacted from in here. So I may not see it straight away as an engulf up, kind of similar to the dollar index. Yeah. We have all this compression now. Something in there, something in here. Like all these spikes, they are hard to predict. Like it's hard even to mention that everything in here. Maybe this level could be interesting. In here, maybe all these lows, maybe the extreme of this level in here could be something in there. Yeah, maybe something in here around 0.92403, something like that. Not really sure. And then of course this one in here is kind of similar to the one on the euro that we talked about, 0.22201. Target 0.96. You're going to 0.96 as a target. 0.9. Yeah, tempting this high, right? You're looking for this high. eventually I want to see price going there as well. Eventually I would like to see price kind of filling out this compression that is kind of created in here. There's of course a few barriers in there. There's this one in here, which is interesting, 09563. Something in here can be interesting. But yes, eventually I would like to see price fill that. Now, yes, there was some supply still fresh in there, and kind of they are working and holding price up. Yeah, maybe this level in here that I have in here and maybe in there would work out on the daily time frame. What does it look like? Has it been touched? Yeah, looking for long still. Yeah. I'll be curious as well about this wall, if this wall is going to be taken or not, and after maybe that wall is taken, maybe can look for the reversal. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for in there. And the arcade. The arcade. This is for you, Faden. It's the arcade. Walk us through your thought process yesterday. So what we have in here, right? We had broken the walls. Again, we haven't really reached this level, so I was still bearish on the arcade. Again, I didn't really like any highs in here. But yes, I was aware of this fresh supply, and I was aware of this high that never reached that supply. Right, so I mentioned I wanted to see. It's for you, man. It's the arcade. It's your pair. It's for you. Oh my goodness me. It's a nice day, right? Yeah, the arcade. Still bearish, still breaking walls without reaching the final demand zone, and as I mentioned, this time, right? So again, follow the approach. How beautifully, how basically every single pair, since basically 10 AM, 11 AM, something like that, it started to move in a compression. And I noticed this one as well. So this high at this point is reacting from the high on the website that I still want to see being faked out. So it's reacting from here, and look what it does. It broke this level, right? So it broke in here. Maybe people started to look for sales in there after the break of the wall. But it starts breaking walls on the way down. We have a compression and we start breaking walls. That's beautiful. Beautiful news altogether. In there, even broke below this level as well. Yeah, and then finally it reached the level. And this is actually a good level. This decision in here. Tau. Right, so in here, that's actually a really good level. Two levels in here to look for that I'll be looking for. Yeah, first one of the key levels. So this one, demand, I don't know if it reached in there. It will be somewhere in here, maybe aligned with this level somewhere, and the other one, it will be definitely this one. So this is the kind of after this kind of first momentum down to move away from all this, we pause, kind of make a decision. Are we going back up or not? Or are we going to finally break this level? And it did break this level, and this level is important. And after that, we actually we start creating a new compression. Let's start holding price. And in reality, this high that I wanted to see be faked out is not exactly just this high that I want to see be faked out. Is actually where this high is reacting to, which is all this, and this is actually the spice that there is in here, somewhere in there, or a little bit higher. Right, this is usually where I'll be looking for. So I'll be paying attention to that spike that you can see on the higher time frame, in 1 hour, 30 minutes, 5 hours, 4 hours, whatever it may be. So this is the high. This high is reacting from here, and now this actually becomes the high that I want to see faked out. It's this one. It's not just this one, it's actually this one. This is kind of where there is that first moment of separation between the momentum down and start to build up a new level. And usually there's a gap in here that price kind of needs to fill. And that's usually where I'll be looking for. And you have that level, and down it went. So, beautiful move on the card. To go here. A little bit again. Less spike comparing with the other ones. But nice move once again. We kind of broke the walls. We kind of break this one, or even that break that one. We test supply, and down it went. It completely sucks. It completely sucks when you see price going away. You had the correct bias, and you don't participate on the move for whatever reason it may be. Sometimes you are even, and we have that conversation already. Not exactly on this specific moment of the news, but sometimes you are kind of fighting or looking for price to go a little bit higher just to give us a little bit of a better kind of in theory risk reward, or a smaller distance of stop loss. And kind of we are fighting for 2 or 4 pips, and then all of a sudden actually when price goes, it goes 200 pips in your favor, and we basically missed the short or the move because we are fighting for 2 or 3 pips of a better entry, and we just completely missed the move. That's another one that it sucks when it happens, and it just looks stupid after the fact, right? And I had many of those throughout the years, and I believe it may still continue this year. But yeah, work to be done. Just take the fucking trade, and that's it. Twice this week on EC, right? I think mine was more on the Aussie, and yeah, that on the yen. On the end, actually, I like what I did. I like that I kind of move my stop loss above it. Yeah, take the rest and then move on. And after that, yes, we have new lows created. Again, price kind of still reacted a little bit from this level that was still fresh below these lows, kind of pause in there, but then it kind of just continue to the downside, right? It was not just a clean kind of move like this. In most of the assets, there was actually good retracements, but then price continued. Then to good retrace, and then price continued. So yeah, maybe looking in here for a potential retrace in there, even above a little bit in the highs. Compress. So this is a new level to look for. This high, you may have already taken this one, so in there, and then maybe in here. I still like this week, I think. Oh wait, yes, something in here. There's maybe something interesting. We have these highs in here. It already hold price, but this high never really got there, that level. There's maybe something behind it is that eventually in the future could be used again. Yeah. So what's next? What's next on the card? Paying attention to this level, of course. So that's something to be aware of. The highs, I still don't really consider that it reacted from final destination, even though kind of we have all this transition in here. So this is kind of a distribution mode, or whatever you want to call it, accumulation, distribution, whatever it may be. I would have liked to see price going a little bit higher, kind of to touch actually a better level, but there may be eventually in the future a potential move upwards in here. So yeah, paying attention to this level now. All this in here was compressed. There's maybe something in there. This low already took this low, so there's a chance for price to go even a little bit lower. All this time, if you remember, I was actually looking for price to go a little bit below this low. Price respected it. I was looking for price actually to go a little bit closer to that level. We'll see in the future where it's going to. I'll be paying attention now for a little bit of this level. To be honest, I haven't paid too much attention for the card, except maybe yesterday. I think yesterday actually it was. I liked as well what I was looking for, and we were talking about it, Faden. So I actually paid attention to it, but aside from that, I haven't almost paid attention to the CAD during all these moves. Yeah, not on my radar recently. Jesus, man, come on! Is this stream the missed guys or whatever? Needs to come on. Let's reverse this. Next week, let's everyone come here and say that that everyone got, I don't know, 150 pips move or 200 pips move. Let's reverse this negativity. Yeah, come on. This is a AA group kind of of missing pips. Oh my god. Yeah, I think UC could go quite low as well. I should change the cover of the live stream. if you miss a 200 people, it needs to be above 200, like maybe the range. So I don't want just small miss of a moves, we want big miss, big misses. So yeah, if you are in that category, feel free to join. 3225 lows. You're even going. Yeah, we're going to below the walls, right? So we're going somewhere in there. Yeah, maybe. Something in here. This looks compressed. Yeah, I could see cut going actually farther down. I was paying attention to maybe some demands that are still there. All this looks compressed in here. There's maybe something in there that price could use around this level. This level, this was never really got there. So maybe something in here. Yeah, maybe. On the return, yes, maybe something in there to price can use and continue to go down. So yeah, I could see after such a kind of a distribution in here, maybe we could see price going all the way to test somewhere in there and even continue to go down. I personally, from all this move down that you have seen, I think this is maybe just a small, not small, but a retracement eventually, and now price may resume the move and to go lower, maybe target somewhere in there, or even go all the way back. If you eventually even break below this low, I wouldn't be surprised if it go all the way back in here and actually fill the small range all the way here, even though we can actually already broke that low, so we can even go there. But yes, somewhere in here could be nice. Maybe some reaction here first, pretend that it's holding, price goes up, eventually goes down, take it, and maybe have a deeper retracement in there and around this range. Oh yeah, a lot of things to happen on the cut, but yes, below this level, maybe even a further move down. Yeah, I don't know. It will be some work to do on YouTube in that part. It will make it even more interactive. It will be much better. If you have any recommendation, I don't know, using Discord. I don't know. I don't really know how to do all that. But there's work to do in there to make it more interactive as well. Yeah, that's for the CAD. And what else? Gold, right? You mentioned gold. Yeah, gold was a good one. I actually had this level in here, right, reversed. Just below these lows, we had this fresh demand zone in here. Really nice reaction. When this high occurred, I was actually already looking for a little bit higher. When did this happen? Tuesday? Wednesday? Tuesday, maybe? Or Wednesday, I don't know. I was already looking for price to actually go above this high. Price kind of respected it, and actually it created actually a good level in here on the lower time frame that could have been used to to sell, especially after we break these walls and never reach this level. So there was space in here, and there could have been a good sell opportunity in there. And now price is reacting from there. So price now finally reached this this level, which is kind of, I was looking a little bit more above this highs, somewhere in here. But the weight has been moving. Just go to the higher time frame. Yeah, could even maybe target that level. 1882, maybe the one above it, even take this one. But I want to see how price reacts from where, somewhere in there, which is kind of, it started already to react from there. Maybe a little bit above it. We'll see. We are having all this compression to the upside. This was literally one of the last demands, still fresh in here. Price used it, price went up, created a new high. And yeah, eventually when you do turn, maybe targeting this high to turn it. We'll see. Even the potential to go all the way above this level. We'll see. Eventually, I would like to see this level being taken, but price can literally just continue to build up and continue to go higher at this point. That could literally occur, and feeling maybe all the way above that spike. But yeah, paying attention to this one on the weekly, it looks like interesting. Monthly time frame, yeah, monthly time frame, maybe target that high. Price goes a little bit above it. Lower time frame, as I mentioned, a little bit in alignment with this level. There's going to be some decision in here, so let's see how gold kind of reacts from here. If it continues, if we kind of go below this low, maybe there's a chance to start reversing actually from somewhere in here, right? So yeah, paying attention to this level, our price is going to behave somewhere in here on gold. All right, so we can actually target out this way and kind of react from here, which is kind of reacted from that level, and pause it, react, and maybe continue to go higher. Maybe that can occur in here. We also have the separation between this one and this one. Yeah. But yeah, nice little turning there a little bit. Maybe going a little bit higher. Alright, so what is your bias on gold? Are you looking for shorts? Are you bearish, bullish? What is your take? Just be a little bit more precise in there. Yeah, this supply can always be taken. I have a gap in here. I have no idea why I have a gap in here. Was it? Yeah, this is weekend, right? On the 10 and then 13. Okay, it was weekend. Yeah, I do have that supply. I don't think price has reacted from there yet. Kind of price is reacting from this level at the base of this level, but not really that level. Base of that level as well. This is a decision point where price kind of attempts to go higher and then kind of breaks through. So this level in here can be interesting. 18747 something. This is all the extreme in here. That you may have like this. Wait, come on, stay there. You can consider the base of this, or even a little bit high. If you consider this one, it's still fresh. This one has already been touched 2 times. So yeah, something in there, something in here. And now I went with these left shoulders as well. So yeah, something to look at. Looking only for shorts on gold. Right? So you like to be a counter trend trader as well. That's what you like to do as well. Look for reversals. Yeah, maybe. Then if you actually go a little bit more to the left side. Just did this go? Okay, so this is where price kind of reacted from that high, and a little bit above this one. I don't even like this one. I could even target all the way something in here, which I don't even like anymore as well, because I start looking always more to the left side, and it's already reacting from this level. And I have a key M in here. This has already been taken by this one. There's maybe something in here. This high can be faked out in there. Then we can actually start going higher and higher and higher. And yeah. This level in here, it's already been taken by that one. We have the supply, it's taken by that one. There's maybe something in there. The price could go above it, so I'm not even looking for anything in here. Price could go higher. So yeah, and just start doing something like that. Yeah. Yeah, at this point, let me just draw a white line in there. It's a high that I would like to see being taken. And alert. Alright. There's maybe something above this one as well, so let me set up another one. Take maybe this one in here and just set up another white line in here. Plus can still do something in there. Okay. Yeah, that's for gold basically. Still bullish until proven the opposite. Yeah, different. Yeah, and that's mostly, you said you cannot really figure out a decent short level on gold. There's maybe something in here. One of those reasons is because almost all of it has been spiked on the way down, right? So if you remember back in April, May, June, when gold was moving to the downside last year, yeah, any attempt to go higher and the kind of price was moving in a strong kind of like this, creating new lows. It was retesting, kind of a deep retracement, then new lows, and then new lows, and then even in here, like all this move. So you can almost ignore all of this and kind of start looking for zones above that. Now, if you do have a little bit of a few levels, there's a chance of price kind of still moving in a compression way, which it may occur still to give you some good sell opportunities along the way as well, right? It depends as well how you manage your expectations for the target. If you're always looking for big targets, maybe that's not the type of setup that you should be looking for. But there's most likely there's going to be opportunities to keep looking for shorts, even though maybe price continues to just move higher, right? Maybe creating new higher highs. There's maybe some opportunities to look for the short. That's why I actually prefer to try to look for the short as kind of the highs being created, then trying to look for the short when price retraces. Because there's a high probability, especially if you continue to be in this bullish market, there's a high probability that maybe you're going to actually fake out and not create a double top in here, but actually fake out and continue to move higher, and then another move down, and then quite similar to what we have in here, right? So price, in this case, we actually created a double top in here, but a new high kind of then goes higher, a new high kind of create this one, then you create a new high, then you create this high, now you create a new high, and so on and so forth. So if people are looking to trade double tops, for example, most likely hasn't been that successful on gold on this move up. So yeah, I like to identify the fresh level as soon as I see price. If I find some clues on a lower time frame, I take the trade. And yeah, most likely I may not be taking the trade on the retest. Now we did break this wall, right? Even though we reacted straight away from the demand zone, so not an engulf immediately or kind of an engulf down in this point. But yes, this is a weekly level. We may have a little bit above that level. However, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually you do get above this 1920, something like that, 19. So let's see. This reminds me a little bit of dollar CAD. Dollar CAD likes to move as well, like that as well. A lot of compressions on the way down and whatever. Yeah, gold and CAD, sometimes they behave like this. Yeah. Pedro, you are wagging, man. Come on. Yeah, I think you can. That's something new on YouTube. Last month, whatever. You can tag. I don't know exactly what's the effect on that. I have no idea. If you get a notification or whatever it may be. But yes, you can tag someone. It's new. Yeah, and that's basically it for gold. Looking at how price is going to react around this level 1974, something like that, and maybe there's an opportunity to sell in there. If you continue to see dollar weakness, maybe continue to see dollar strength. Maybe when the dollar reverses a little bit, maybe we're going to see gold reacting. Already going to see finally gold working as an edge. But for that, the indices won't actually need to go down. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how the market is going to start positioning themselves in here. This Ethereum. Yeah, moving to the upside. This was kind of an analysis I had done yesterday or something like that. So retesting this support resistance, it was such a nice level to react from after reacting from this kind of supply. And kind of breaking through to the upside. So that is done. Maybe new level somewhere in there. Maybe still a new level in there. Something in here still as well. That price can use. Maybe if you break below, maybe this wall first, break below this wall, go there, maybe react from here, maybe can resume the move to the upside. Yep. Price never really got to the level where I was looking for, but it's just enough apparently to fake out this wall and start moving higher. And yeah, maybe final target for this move to the upside can be somewhere close to that level. We did broke above these highs, which is something to pay attention to. Maybe we can actually see Ethereum starting to go higher in here. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see what's going to happen in here. Again, I haven't really done that much analysis on crypto. Just keeping an eye with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, it's way too many spikes. Bitcoin. Yeah, this is what I was looking for as well. We broke the low. Final destination from this kind of fill this gap in here, or fill this space. Yep. Before that, we actually kind of had broken a little bit this high, but we had reacted a little bit from the high on the left side. But I was looking already. Yeah, maybe this was a little bit fresh. BTC, we haven't really broken this high. The Ethereum we did. Is there something in here? Basically, where price reacted to the last piece of fresh orders that were in there. Price may react now from here if it wants to. Go a little bit below this wall and react from there. But this was a nice little zone where Bitcoin reacted from. Yeah, so something in here, and maybe price can go higher. Yeah, even though we are kind of creating out this good compression, but price is reacting from nice levels, and it can continue to go higher in here. Again, I haven't really done that much analysis in here on BTC. You're talking about gold for sure. 1871, 1871, 1879 is my follow-up point of interest. Yeah, around this high, right? So we are looking at this high, which is also, is it a daily or it was a weekly high that we talked about? Is this high in here, right? And we have all these highs in here that we kind of fake out. It's exactly what I just analyzed that level, right? So we do have a little bit on the lower time frame, some levels in there. I'll be paying attention to that level as well. And it can work. It can definitely work. However, when it is kind of a high in the middle of nothing, there's a slight chance that can actually kind of be used as liquidity or something a little bit above it. And that's a little bit of my concern. For example, this higher high this week on the monthly, yeah, why not take the week and then maybe reverse after that. But yes, it's a level that I'm looking for, and I'll be paying attention to as well on gold somewhere in here. And that's it, guys. I think one of the longest streams I believe has been 2 hours and 15. It's a good one. It's a good review. Yeah, looking forward for next week for sure. Good levels to pay attention to. Yeah, as a mid-range, right? Wait for new PA. That's literally from someone that knows how many times you get fake out from those highs or those lows, kind of there in the middle. That's experience talking after so many losses. 18718. Jesus. Let me just take a look at that one. Not this one. Okay, let me just go there. One 80. Is this the level? Why are you making 80? Don't have any in the 80. You really like these small things, man. These kind of TM zones in there, right? You have this. You have this small wick, fake out, and go. Kind of there, right? You just love those. I will be concerned with this one. I will be concerned a little bit that one. But yeah. I like them as well. But when we are not really reacting from, when you have just a fresh level just above it, I would have liked to see this high kind of react from there. Now go down. Yes, now this left shoulder, it will be my favorite level altogether. Now I'll be looking at that 1871 that you are talking about. But for now, I could see the spike in there. And yeah, maybe this level after the spike is done, maybe can be seen. But yes, I noticed that you really like these little levels, which I do as well. All right, and eventually in here as well. So yeah, we are currently going to be looking something in here to see how gold reacts from. Guys, thank you. I had loads of fun, to be honest. Karox, welcome to the stream. I hope you're going to be joining us more often as well. So Saturday, if you are free, we're going to be doing this every Saturday, looking at markets. And then it's Tuesday at around 6 p.m. UK time. That's maybe an update for how the market open, maybe prediction for the rest of the week, or it can also be educational content, right? So if you want me to cover something, anything, whatever it may be, I can spend that time during that stream to go over it. Aside from that, yeah, thank you, Pedro, one more time. Let's have a killing week. I almost had 7 people watching at the same time. That's amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you, Karox, and anyone else as well that participated in the stream. Muzani in the beginning as well. Thank you. Have a great weekend. If you're watching the recording, feel free to ask any questions on the comments and maybe we can cover it on the next stream. Have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Obrigado.